Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Power of Change. This is episode 5, and we are so grateful that you are here with us. I'm Reverend Janelle Anlia Frickland.
And I'm Reverend Amy Oberly, and Janelle and I are part of the Hope Interfaith Center, a center for spiritual living here in Mankato, Minnesota. Our director, Janice Hope Gorman, is the one who does these amazing videos. And this week we get a special treat. We have a surprise guest. It's her husband, Paul. And they are going to be sharing a few tips for us on how they have had a successful marriage for over 35 years. So it will help us greatly in this time of change, and just as we're around our loved ones a little bit more, it will help us through these harder times.
Yeah, and if you guys know of somebody that is having trouble with relationships, whether it's marriage or friendships or anything like that, please share this with them and it will help them greatly. It's such a great video. You guys are going to love it. Get a pen and paper out because you'll be needing to take some notes with their amazing tips that they offer you. And we hope you guys enjoy the show.
Everybody, we are on our 4th teaching here from the Hope Interfaith Center, and obviously I'm home isolating myself and not trying to socially distance from my husband here, Paul Gorman. And we're going to do a bit of a teaching or give you 4 tips today on how to make your marriages work. I believe that this is an opportunity to deepen your relationship. So, do you have anything more to say after that?
As far as a tip, one of the things we found that I've watched a couple of really humorous items on about people whose spouses, it's just driving each other crazy. My Panera Coffee group circulated one, which actually I'm guilty of circulating. I got it from my sister. It's just hilarious. It shows this woman in a closet in the dark, hiding from her husband, and complaining about the things that are driving her crazy. In our case, we rubbed those rough edges off, I think, of that kind of thing a long time ago. But we have gotten on each other's nerves lately. We have had some little tiffs.
Yes,
How did you define a tiff?
I wanted to give you a definition of tiff.
Okay.
The definition of a tiff, if you guys are having that out there, is a petty quarrel. If you do not take care of that little tiff, what happens? It goes into a huge argument, and this is the definition of an argument: an exchange of opposite views and concerns or needs, typically one that becomes heated or angry and using strong words and tone of voice that hurt each other. An argument can also, what I've just said, with a lot of marriages and partnerships, are having social distancing problems. And so we wanted to give you 4 tips. Tip 1. We're on tip 1.
Very good.
Don't assume. Don't assume anything. We get tiffed off with each other.
Tiffed off. That's
we get
good.
Tiffed off.
I love this woman because she's so funny at times. But it really boils down to the 4 agreements somewhat, and that's one of the 4 agreements. So
don't assume.
Yeah.
And communicate openly. Try to, if anybody, you should be able to pour your heart out. And lots of people right now are fearful, are worried about their future, all of those things. And so they're arguing and they're not sharing that with each other as a couple. So don't assume what's going on. Don't assume anything. Just keep your hearts open and communicate openly. Now, tip 2 from my husband.
To kind of have a little fun together and set up some little dates together. So we have had the movie dates. We've picked an unusual maybe, or a different or a little interesting movie, and or maybe an old movie, but we haven't hit too many old ones, but we've hit a couple of interesting ones. Some of them are on relationships. And
so tip 1, what was that again, Paul?
Have some fun together, set up some dates.
No. Tip 1 was don't assume.
Well, you had tip 1, I had tip 2. Don't assume. Oh, okay. Oh, you're recapping.
Yes. Tip 2 was
have some fun together, set up some dates together.
Okay, now I'm going to do tip 3. Pray together or meditate together. Oh, everybody kind of gulps at that one.
Me too.
But praying for your health and praying for the health of the caregivers right now, and first responders and nurses and people who are on the front line over and over and again, praying for them and sending them a tabernacle of white light around them, and praying for those who are in mourning right now. Because, although this is quite fun doing it with my husband, there's lots of people who are mourning and who are very sorrowful, and we're not forgetting them at all, and praying and sending Reiki out to them. When you are in a crisis, your strongest position is in feeling gratitude and gratefulness for what you have. I love that. I forgot where that quote came from, but when you are in a crisis and your strongest position, steadiness, is feeling grace and gratitude and appreciation for what you do have. I always tell everybody, what is your energetic offering that you give to your husband, and what's your energetic offering that your husband is giving to you? So when you are grateful and filled with gratitude, many good things come from that. Now we're going to tip number 4. Take it away, husband.
Take it away, yes. Well, it occurred
What's
to me
the
the
name of
other
the
day.
tip?
Oh, the
You
tip
have
is
to
to
name the tip.
okay. Normally, the tip is to seek out peak experiences. So a number of years ago, I went to a workshop, and it was more about individual development and growth. But one of the statements made in that workshop was that is the quality of your life and the rewarding feelings you get in your life are directly proportional to the number of peak experiences you have each year. If you don't have a certain number of peak experiences, you're just not going to enjoy life very much. And I thought of that the other day when we were in the house, and realized that I haven't been identifying and writing down peak experiences that I would like to have. A good example would be the skydiving or the zip lining, or riding a 6,000-mile motorcycle trip, or whatever a peak experience might be, or it might be a very small thing.
But what can they do now?
So what can you do now? Well, my idea was, I said, hey, honey, do you know where our red picnic romance backpack is? And she said she did. So we got the backpack out. We put 2 beers and a bottle of Pinot Grigio in there, and we decided to support a local restaurant. So we called down to Dino's and picked up some sandwiches. And it was too cold for the motorcycle, so we went to 7 Mile Park to be out in nature. And we sat at a picnic table, and all of Nicollet County and half of Blue Earth County had the same idea, and they were in the same park. And we decided this isn't quite what we want. We want a little more alone time, a little more social distancing. So
not from us, but from everybody else.
Yeah. We started driving around the back roads out in Nicollet County, and we were on a little township road and found a good spot, and we pulled over and we opened the doors and the tailgate on the Explorer, and we found a good radio station, and we cranked it up kind of to the max, and opened the beer and the wine, and then the plowed tilled field there was dry enough, and we went out and sat in the dirt. And then Janice is the one who, of course, likes to go barefoot, so she took her shoes and socks off. And despite it being 46 or 7 degrees, I took my shoes and socks off and wiggled my toes in the dirt. And then we ran around in the clods a little bit and started laughing like kids. That was inexpensive. I think we would have had just as much fun if we hadn't had $6 for a bottle. $6 for a cheap bottle of wine or a couple of beers. We could have gone out there with a couple cans of pop or bottled water, and we'd have had about as much fun. It was getting out of the house. It was getting out of the norm of the routines we get into. We really broke our routines. I haven't run barefoot through a plowed field, I'll bet, in 30 years.
And he's a farm boy.
Yeah, but I hadn't done that in 30 years. And We
Okay,
just
so
felt lighthearted. And then Janice says to me, because I didn't have much fun, especially fun with girls when I was young, and she said, did you ever park on these roads and, with a girlfriend when you were 16, 17, 18, like we're doing today? And I said, no, I never had that opportunity.
but it's
Thank
never
God.
too late.
Yeah. I was just thrilled to have the opportunity now to kind of horse around a little bit. And we did feel young. We did feel young.
Okay, so those are our 4 tips. Tip number 1, what was it, Paul Gorman?
Beats me.
For heaven's sakes.
That was your tip.
I-
Oh, don't assume
Very
anything.
good.
That's really important, because when you say something to your spouse and they don't reply, or they sound a little snarly or snarky, it may have nothing to do with me whatsoever. And I
Okay.
tend to internalize that. So
Tip number 2, Gorman.
have some little mini dates right in the house, like the old movies, the popcorn, play some games.
Tip number 3.
That's you.
Oh, pray together. Pray and meditate together. Pray for our frontliners. Pray for your marriages. Pray for your partnerships. Pray for your friendships. Pray for local communities. Pray, pray, pray. Your most steadiest, firm position can be when you're in gratefulness and gratitude. Okay, tip number 4.
Well, tip number 4 is identify some peak experiences. They can be nearby. I think this is a good time of year to make outdoor experiences. Go drive down some little dirt roads in the rural Nicollet County and run around the dirt a little bit. Just simple kinds of things. Ask yourself, what would you have done when you were dating when you were 17 or 18 years old, and give that a try. If you're unemployed, you're short on money, a lot of your fights are going to be about money. And the suggestion I would make is for neither of you to really spend any money without talking to the other person and making a little priority list. Kind of turn it into but the idea, when one person spends money without talking to the other person, when it's in short supply, creates a lot of fights.
I guess that's tip number 5.
That's number 5. Money's going to be a big one.
Don't be in fear. Go ahead, live in joy. Until next time, we love you all. Take care. We'll support you at the Hope Interfaith Center. Those are great tips, Gorman. We did good. High five.
All right.